I'm pushing past the fear every day. It's a daily thought, but the filter is less and less. The older I get, I'm just going to try. I've got to try. I've got to make this work. The passion, the drive is overweighing the fear by hundreds.
Hello, my creative friend. Welcome to the BDI Create.today podcast. This is a podcast where we'll discover the who, what, where, when, why, and how you can be creative or have more creativity. And together, we'll explore the extraordinary impact creativity can have in your life, in your heart, mind, body, and soul. And if we haven't met yet, I am Beth Buffington, a licensed artist, digital illustration instructor, and a creative coach living just outside of the windy city of Chicago, Illinois. But mostly, I am someone who is curious about how creativity can weave its way into our lives. Now, each week we're going to look at one or more of the sparkly facets that make up the ever-changing kaleidoscope that is creativity.
Welcome back, my creative friend, to another episode of Create Today with Beth Buffington. Today, I am bringing to you an artist that I am very excited to introduce. Her name is Tracy Dawn Brewer, and she's multifaceted. And I am bringing her to the table today to have her talk to you about her creativity and how you can harness your exciting energy to do some similar things in your area. Tracy, welcome to Create Today. I am so excited to have you here. Come to the table and just explain who you are, where you are. Let's dive into the exciting creativity that you're bringing to your community and to the world.
Oh, you're so kind, Beth. Thank you so much for having me today. I am very excited to be here. Again, Tracy Dawn Brewer, coming from Canton, Ohio. I have a beautiful shop in Oakwood Square, Plain Township, called Brewtifully. Brewer, my last name, and beautiful together. We don't brew coffee or beer, just creativity here. That's what I have on the doors. But we're in a Dora district, so people are always asking, do you do sip and paints? Yep, bring your drink over from one of the restaurants and enjoy that experience. But I have worked a long time being creative in many roles and just recently retired from healthcare. I was in that industry for 10 years and opened my shop. I did both at the same time for the first year that it was open. But now we're a gallery, we're a store, we're an art studio, and it's been phenomenal, the response from the community. It's given me a place to have people visit and do art hands-on. And I can't wait to share, how this got started and all the community work that I do and how maybe this could work for somebody else in their location.
Yes, and that is something I am very anxious to share because what we talk about on the podcast is your creativity and how you find it and how you decide to use it and how what you do with your creativity is going to make you happier and healthier in heart, mind, body, and soul. And I mean, if you're watching this on YouTube, people, Tracy she just shines when she's on screen. So she's doing something right with her creativity. So let's learn a little bit more about what you do right now. I know all the facets you've just talked about. Let's dive into a few of those. First of all, let's talk about your community art. I know you are doing so much in the Canton area with your creativity, with your art, not only in your art, but how you reach out and teach. So tell a little bit more about that and how you got started.
Sure. There's a lot of wonderful organizations in our community that reach nationally, like the Pro Football Hall of Fame, for example. And we have a wonderful Chamber of Commerce, and we have a lot of small businesses. So, I've been in Stark County for 25 years, and I've always wanted to integrate my artwork within the art scene. And I would apply for the different gallery shows, or I would create something for an art call. And as things developed and time went on, people recognized what I could do. And so, for example, in 2019, the mall, the Belden Village Mall, wanted a mural. And I submitted a design and it was chosen. And as I was painting it, I thought, I'm going to do something different with this. I'm going to create an augmented reality experience. I researched it, wanted to do something that would involve tech because I'm a little bit of a nerd. I have a master's in information and telecommunication systems, but I also have my art background. And I wanted kids to get interested in art. So I put this spin on this mural where it activates with your phone and you can see this frame by frame animation that I created for this mural. And so once the mural was done, it was a 20-foot by 16-foot mural. You could be in the mural and it would animate around you. And they were blown away. They had no idea that this would happen. And it was the first augmented reality mural in Stark County. And at the time, the mall was owned by a different corporation. So again, 2019, they had scheduled me to start going to all the other locations in the country and do these AR murals. Then the pandemic hit.
Yes.
And everything got canceled. So this big public reveal of this mural just kind of like, oh, but then I started getting requests from other small businesses. And like I did a mural in a beautiful bookstore of a church and it was augmented reality and it told the life of a saint. And you know, more things started coming up because people locally heard about what I was doing. And I really thought that I wanted to be more national. I needed a national license. I needed to do this to be successful. And talking to Margot Tentau, I joined her mastermind. And she's like, why aren't you leaning into local? And it clicked. I thought, I do need to lean into local. So I did more with my Chamber of Commerce. I did more with my township. I did more with small businesses and just letting people know, do you need this? Do you need, you know, flyers? Do you need a logo? Literally starting really small and then moving into larger projects, just letting people know that I was available. And I was still working full time in healthcare. That's what helped me integrate myself into the community more and more. Once in a while for a nonprofit, I would do something and I would donate something for the American Red Cross, or I would do a painted piece, but I would put my augmented reality spin on it. And I would get private commissions after that because I spent time and donated something. So it did pay off in other ways. And the recognition of what I was doing, the word got around. And so I think that it's really important to trust what you feel like, okay, if I'm doing this for a donation, people may respond well to it and like my work and ask me to do more. So there's a good balance there that you have to recognize, but I think it's really important to not worry about it being something that is requested. You know, put your artwork out there, donate something, push something out there, share it on social media. Don't be afraid to let people know that this is what you do in your community.
I love that. So many things to unpack there about
I know.
how to share your art, right? I know that there's a lot of concerns if you're sharing your art on social media. Will people steal it? And I mean, that can happen. But if you don't show it and you don't share it, people can't see it. And you're just hiding your light under that proverbial basket. So you got to get it out there. You got to be brave enough to have people see it. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and a lot of process shots, a lot of showing how you're making it, what you're doing. That's so important, you know, showing that transparency and authenticity and, you know, this is how it's made and I'm doing this by hand. And that's so important. And yeah, there is a lot of worry that there's theft and people take things. There's really hardly any way to stop it. It's so hard. It really, really is. Don't let that be the barrier, honestly.
I love that you say that because it's true. I mean, there are certain things you can do when you're sharing your art. So if it's a little bit of an angle or you've got a pencil laying over top of it or you're standing in front of it, it makes it a little harder to steal. Right. But if you don't get it out there, no one's going to know that you are there. Right. Yeah. Now the community is seeing your art. Now I want you to talk a little bit about how you're teaching about what you do. Talk a little bit about your classes.
Sure. So I do teach augmented reality. I do teach digital art and showing people how they can take an actual painting. So we'll do any kind of subject that they want, and then I show them how to bring that into, for example, Procreate, and show them how to take that and do an illustration of it, and then animate that, and then they can merge that with the app that I use, Artivive, and encourage them to make it augmented reality. So I do teach that, and that's so interesting. People were just blown away that they can animate their own artwork. And so we teach everything here from that to traditional painting and then more. We've got air dry clay, we've got hand knit blankets, we do bonsai trees, and I really encourage other teachers in the community to come here and teach their classes too. Again, this space is not just for me to teach. I want to bring other people here to share what they do. We have a gallery wall, for example, that exhibits a new artist every month in the community. And if they sell anything from their exhibit, I take no commission. 100% goes back to that artist. I know how hard it is for an artist to make money. And that wall is for the community. And I am booked all the way through next year and halfway through 27 with artists. And everyone gets a little mini reception, and we present their artwork. Their artwork is for sale. I buy wholesale from the artist so I can resell it in the gift shop. I really tried to layer different ways that they could make money from their art. And then I encourage them to teach a class, and they get paid to teach those classes. So we have everything that you can think of here because the community has supported me so much. I want to give back in those ways. And plus, we're a great location for people to take a class. We've got great parking. There's plenty of restaurants. You can bring food in while you take a class, and there's seating for 20 out front. The room I'm in right now with all my murals behind me is our party room. You can have an art experience, birthday, shower. This room seats 20, and we'll curate a custom art experience for all your guests to enjoy. And some of them even start at like $5 a person. So they can do little stitch kits, so they can do mini canvases. I mean, I really tried to make it affordable and very widespread of what is available.
I love that because people are looking for experiences right now.
Right. Yeah.
More and more places are doing live events, and having something like what you have that incorporates so much interaction for parties and things that families can do together, just priceless.
Yeah, definitely is. And I love making it customized. I remember growing up and I could never find my name on something at like a gift shop or souvenir shop. And I had very boring spelling my name with just a Y. And so I custom design and cut with my laser any kind of thing that they want to create, wall signs or ornaments or special things for the birthday person. And I just love being able to personalize and customize stuff for people. I think that is it's a game changer.
Oh yes, people love to have something with a cap with their name on it, or a shirt,
Yep.
or tote bag or keychains. Oh, so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love how you're sharing so much with art that you're sending out and teaching that you're just giving back. So that is so beautiful. And the way you're roping that all together, so it's very cohesive, that is neat. And amazing how you're allowing other artists to come in and use your area as a platform to showcase and celebrate other people who have authentic talent that needs to be seen. And kind of getting them started. Are they coming from your local area? Or are you bringing them in from all over the country?
I've brought them in from as far as Cleveland and Pittsburgh. And I have had repeat students come from those areas, and that's 45 minutes to an hour away. And I'm just floored that they want to come and take repeat classes, or somebody wants to come and teach, or they want to participate in a show. It's just phenomenal. The word has just spread little by little with everyone sharing it. And I am just so grateful that people get so excited by coming in. As soon as they walk in, if they don't realize what I am, they are like, the color and all of the murals just, floor them. And then they I don't know where to look. There's just so much to see. And they're walking around. I have clothes that you can purchase because I wear a lot of crazy, colorful, bright things. And when I'm doing murals, people are like, where'd you get that? Well, I might as well sell it in the store. So I have things like that. I also do surface pattern design. So I design my own lines of clothes and I have that available. I hand make things. Plus we teach sewing. So I show you how to mend. I show you how to refurbish and revive clothes and make things that are personal. Again, that customization, that personalization, making sure you're representing who you are. That's really important to me. And then sharing how to do that. It's amazing to see the kiddos, learning how to sew and reading a pattern. Wow. And we've done pattern design classes where you got to make your own repeat pattern. I order the fabric in and then they make something with their own design. And they're just like, I can't believe I did this. Mm-hmm. And I just love seeing that, develop with someone. And so I really, like I said, tried to create all kinds of experiences so people get their hands in without investing in maybe the full amount of tools. You're trying it out here. If you really love it, then you can go and purchase a knitting machine or an iPad or whatever. Right. That is something you can at least try here and try it out.
I love it. It sounds to me like you have more than 24 hours in your day.
I wish. Yeah, it is so funny. Ideas will wake me up. I'm like thinking of things. And that's when I know my intuition is really kicking in, is that if I can't stop thinking about it and an idea keeps, brewing and it wakes me up in the middle of the night and I'll make a note, I'm like, okay, this is a good one.
That was something you wrote in the questionnaire that you did for me. You wrote the word intuition. And I think for creatives, for people who are looking for their creative passion or what is going to help them become happier and healthy in their creativity, whether that's just something that they do in the evenings and, to supplement their happiness, or it's a passion that takes them away from their 9-to-5 and it's an actual business that they start on their own. Intuition is going to help you discover what that creativity is for you. Do you believe that?
Absolutely. Yes, it really does.
Let's have a quick word from our sponsor today. And this episode, my friend, is brought to you by the Create.today membership. This is a creative space where we weave the practices that we're talking about today into our daily life. Inside the membership, you will explore what it means to be a healthy creative. When you are grounded in your creativity, it is easier to grow your confidence, and this leads to greater success with your chosen activity, your chosen goals and dreams in your life, and all those things that you see for yourself that you would love to achieve. If you've ever wished for encouraging guidance to support your unique creativity, you'll feel at home here as you create today with me. Because yes, I am always there with you, listening, cheering, and sharing creative ideas with you. You can learn more about the Create.today membership by going to www.bdi-create.today, and up where it says menu on the website, scroll down until you see membership and coaching, and you'll find all the information you need and a way to sign up. And if you sign up soon, there is a special introductory price where you can get and try out the membership for a low price for 1 month.
It really does. Again, the idea of this place is all based on stuff that I've loved and things that I've either seen in another location. We have children. We have 6 kids, 5 grands. They're all over the country. No one lives in Ohio. So we travel a lot to see them and visit them, and getting to experience a really cool place that had a lot of fun mini art pieces. I loved that in Seattle. It was at a store. So when I came here and opened my store, I have a big dollhouse that has all mini art supplies. That's like one of the first things people gravitate to. I didn't want to not have that because I love miniatures. I love mini art. I love the little mini art supplies. And it was just something I loved. So I'm like, I have to incorporate that somehow. And so that is there. So all these different things that I'm like, I think this is going to work. I think this is going to be a good feature in the store. I think this is going to be something that is part of the whole outline of what I wanted to do. It's all based on things I loved, the intuition that I had, and trusting that, because the older that I get, the less filter I have, and the more that I'm like, I'm going to do it now and I'm not waiting. And so that, I'm telling you, if you've got that drive and you've got that passion and you feel that to your core, don't wait. Don't wait.
No.
You really have to just start where you're at and you make it work. I literally had this dream to have this space, and doing it at the same time as my full-time job for 1 year was super hard. This was only open in the evenings. I worked from 7 to 5, Monday through Friday. I was open 5 to 9, and every day, 7 days a week, just to make this happen. And it was worth it. And I encourage you to find some way, somehow, with that dream you have, to make it work in any way, shape, or form until you can get it to take off.
So, a couple things that I think are really important about what you just said. You had a calling, you had the intuition, you were waking up at night, you had these ideas.
Yep.
But the most important thing that you did was that you put your thoughts into action. So
Yeah.
you have the thoughts. I mean, how many people go, you know what, here's $1 million idea, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't act on it, then it's just a thought, and they usually don't stick around very long. You have a thought, and if you don't write it down, you don't start acting on it, poof, it goes away. You want to think about those thoughts. If they are exciting you, you can't sleep at night because you keep thinking about it. It's time to put some action into it. And
Absolutely.
sometimes that action is hard. Sometimes
Oh,
it's hard. You work 7 to 5, and from 5 to 9, you were open. There wasn't time to like, I just need some downtime. I mean,
none.
that was your downtime. You probably
Yeah.
found yourself so energized, even though you were pretty exhausted. It makes it worth it.
Yeah, it definitely did. And that's not even me getting up at 4 a.m. to do my artwork before I would go to work. And that's
Holy,
what I was doing.
yeah.
Yeah, because that was my wake up time. And I was doing still community work. I was still painting murals. I was still illustrating books. I was still doing all kinds of things. And I had to find time to do that work before I would go to my regular job, before I would come in here. So from 4 to 7, for those 3 hours, I did that work in the mornings. And then I would work, and then I would come in here. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, I was open noon to 9 on Saturdays and noon to 5 on Sundays when I was working full time. I really believed in this space. And it took a while to get this space. They showed me this space in November of 23. And when I told them I wanted to open an art studio, they didn't call me back.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, well, I guess they didn't really think that this would work. And so 6 months went by. We were in the middle of 25 or 24. And they called me and they said, do you still want that space? This was May. And I said, well, I thought it was rented. Nobody called me back. No, we want to talk to you again. So I came back and they wanted to know what I needed to have done inside. This was a carpeted area. I'm like, I don't need the carpet. If you take that out, I will do everything else. And they said, deal. They were like, good. And literally, that's what happened. They took the carpet out and I painted every wall. Again, working full time. My husband and I would come in here and he would help spray the solid color, and then I would do the murals. And I would literally walk in going, what do I want to paint today? It was kind of planned, but it was still intuition. This is what I want it to look like. This is what I want it to do. This is what I want. I tried to get all the materials that I needed, and I would go to resale shops and I furnished it with everything that I could find on Marketplace. I did it from scratch. It's not like I had a warehouse full of stuff ready to come in. I'm like, I'm going to make this work. This is going to happen. And it was all based on just, I had this dream. This space was perfect. I live right down the street, and this location has nothing like this. There was an art studio, an art gallery over here on this side of town. This was a great location for all kinds of kids. I have homeschool classes. I have after school programs. I have days off of school programs. I mean, I like, this is perfect for this. And it's all just continuing to develop from what the community has requested, what people want to have, what they want to experience here. We have an amphitheater right in the same plaza. So I curated craft projects, art projects that went with every performer for the summer. And so they were themed. And so everything that the community does, I try to create an experience around it.
Mm.
And it just continues to blossom that way.
Now, let me ask you this.
Okay.
While you were doing all of this, did you feel confident every day? Did you wake up going, I know this is going to be a success? Did you have any fear about what if this doesn't work? Right? Yeah.
Right. I
So,
mean, that's always in the back of your mind. I'm like, this is always a lesson learned. Like, will I be able to pay everything? I still have a lease payment every month, and I still have overhead, and I have inventory I need to get. I'm always very conscientious of that. But is the experience worth it? Are people getting joy out of this? Am I honoring what we're doing? Am I giving enough back? It's a huge balance, and it's always in the back of my mind. And it's always a fight of confidence versus I'm not going to be afraid. And I just continue to just push. I'm pushing past the fear every day. It's a daily, it's a daily thought. But again, the filter is less and less. The older I get, I'm like, I'm just going to try. I've got to try. I've got to make this work. The passion and the drive is overweighing the fear by hundreds. And that's what keeps me going.
So we had a podcast episode not long ago about stepping out of your comfort zone, and that feeling uncomfortable is a sign of making progress.
Yes.
And then once you step into some place that you aren't familiar with, that you're uncomfortable with, and then you start feeling comfortable there, that means you're ready to push a little farther. And I loved how you mentioned that you just felt so driven that that's okay. You're going to feel a little bit weird, but you push through that. So has everything always gone perfect for you?
Oh, of course. A class will never fill up. I'm like, oh, okay, they didn't like to do that. Again, I'm very diversified. I have no belief in a niche or a niche. I really feel like having a large variety of things that I have interest in helps people feel comfortable like, oh, yeah, I want to try this. I like to do this, or I want to explore this. I do public murals. I do illustration. I do surface pattern design. I'm doing more fiber art. And the more that I put it out there that, you know what, learn along with me, the more people respond. I am not perfect at this. We're going to try it together. And it has taken off from everything that I have shared. Again, being very transparent. Look, I'm not the end all be all teacher of this, but we're going to try this together. People were like, I want to try that. I want to work along with you, right beside you, doing this. And we've had classes that we've called that, and people love it. And we're on our third and fourth one. For example, for wet felting, we'll do that. I contacted Natasha Smart in New Zealand and asked if we could teach her class, provide her book, and share how she does that, the bags on a ball. She was so kind. She said, absolutely. Everyone that joined your class, will put them in our private group. So that started off with 2 people. Now the next class, I have 4 people in it, and people love it. And I didn't know how to do it to begin with. We were learning together, and now we're doing more and more. And I feel like I'm supporting Natasha by continuing to support with her book and sharing her process, and the suppliers that are here in the States that give us the opportunity to get the kits. It's like it's trickling back, but it's paying it forward. And I love being able to, again, sharing that and being very honest about, you know what, we do all kinds of stuff. We're going to learn this together. And keeping that in mind, it doesn't matter what kind of business you're doing. It doesn't have to be an art business. Maybe you are a wonderful barista and you want to open a coffee shop. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to offer something new or do something cool in your area that no one else is doing, and bring experiences in. Maybe you'll teach how to mix, mixologist in coffee, and just be creative about it. Open the door to let people experience it that are like true coffee lovers, for example. So it doesn't have to be just an art studio or an art gallery or an art-based business that's on the back of your mind. It could be anything, but think outside of the general realm of what that shop is, and let people experience it hands-on. I think hands-on is so key nowadays. People want to be immersed in it and learn more about it and share in that. And I think that that goes across all kinds of businesses.
When you are thinking about the business you want to do, you might think, I want to be a barista, but there's so many. No one needs another one, but they need what you bring to the table that makes you authentic. So what excites me, and what is my intuition telling me? And then how do you bring your passion to the table in the unique facet that you have? And that's what makes you creative.
Yes. Yes. And collaborating with other businesses in your community is huge. You could bring something very unique to some place. Like we have some great little ice cream places that are local, and they collaborate with artists all the time to do a special bowl that someone has sculpted, and the ice cream is served in it. And then you get the bowl that's done by the artist and a special scooped sundae that has a theme that goes along with it. That's wonderful. You're supporting this artist and this small business, and they're collaborating. Think of ways to do that. A coffee shop could do that with beautiful mugs that an artist is doing, and then you're promoting that artist in a special mug and a beautiful themed drink. Think outside the box. Merge those creative juices together and collaborate locally with things that you love, because somebody else is going to love it too. I guarantee it. If you love it that much, someone else is going to love it too.
Especially when you're talking locally, like when you're talking Stark
Mm-hmm.
County, you're talking Canton, the people who live there, and most everybody has got that team spirit feel. You feel loyal to this area because look what we can do here, and
Yeah.
you're supporting that area with beautiful products. It's just very cyclical. People
Yeah.
support, so they go out and they do the things, and because they do the things, they're supporting the community, and it's a win-win for both sides.
It is. It is. I love like the Visit Canton organization that does our tourism. They have two locations, one downtown Canton and one at the Hall of Fame Village. And they sell my artwork on clothes and postcards and tote bags and blankets. And everybody that comes in for NFL games, they're able to purchase those things and my name is on it and they see it. And it's just been a wonderful partnership. And those are the kind of organizations when you have travel and tourism in your area and Chamber of Commerce and small businesses. If you're an artist or if you're a creative, reach out to them and see how you can collaborate. It's wonderful to merge those areas.
Yes, yeah. So if you're a creative in your local area, listen to what Tracy's been sharing, and start poking around. Go up on the
Yeah.
internet, check out your Chamber of Commerce, find out if there are any local art organizations, and
Yeah.
see where you might fit. And whatever has been calling you, maybe it's time for you to walk out into that little bit of a scary zone where you feel a tiny bit
Yeah.
uncomfortable and just see what happens.
Hmm.
Now, I want to ask you a question. I mean, you're all the things you're doing. I think at the end of the day, you must be exhausted. At the end of the week, you must be even more exhausted. So, Tracy, what are you doing to keep your energy up and keep yourself inspired? I mean, you're burning your candle at all sides. I mean, I like your candle is just a big flame.
Oh, I
It's
feel like it's a lot less now that I don't have to have a 9 to 5 that wasn't art.
Yes,
So
that was
that
a big thing too, to take off your plate, because then it allowed
yeah.
you to do what you really wanted to concentrate on. But what are you doing to keep yourself rested and keep yourself inspired?
Yeah. So I do not get up as often at 4 a.m. as I used to. So I do try to sleep in a smidge more and I try to do yoga. And that is very helpful. I love just having a mindful moment to stretch and to center myself for the day. So I think that that's really important, and trying to get in some walking and exercise. So that is very, very big on my to do list during the day. The shop itself doesn't open until noon. The plaza is all restaurants, like I said. So really the traffic here isn't going anywhere until about lunchtime. So 12 to 5 is when my shop is publicly open Monday through Saturday, and 12 to 3 on Sunday. So those morning hours, I will have private art lessons. We'll do homeschooling lessons. And so I get to start here a little bit later in the morning than maybe like a traditional store. So that's kind of helpful. And then when we have classes, if they're in the evening, they're not every night till 9 o'clock. So we'll have special ones in the evening, or we'll have private groups in the evening. So that has helped immensely, not having that daily 9 o'clock ending time. I get to go home. I get to see the dogs. I get to see my husband. Sometimes he'll come over here if it's a special class and he likes to be involved. Sometimes I bring my dog with me to the shop. So I love doing that. So I get to have those kind of like, oh, I get to control this. This is really nice. But then I also still am taking classes and taking art and learning art. And I love exploring that. I do them online, in person. I get to go to gallery openings now. I just get to be more like almost like a spectator, but people are recognizing me now. Oh, you're Brewtifully. I'm like, yeah. And then they're so excited to like talk about the space and talk about what we do. It doesn't do anything but just energize me. So it's really wonderful that people are getting to recognize what we do, because I try to do a video every day or try to share every day on my social media platforms of what we're doing. And so I just still get so much energy and just I do rest. I feel like I rest a lot more, but I do try to be very mindful about when I'm getting that time and that downtime. But I still love being creative. I love learning. I will never stop learning. And it's just really important to me to get to do that personally, going to art retreats and going to different things and sharing those. Maybe we'll take a caravan and some people can come with me and get to enjoy those. But I still think it's really important for growth and for inspiration to be connected to other creatives.
So some of the important things that I noticed you said in there, just to take a look at some bullet points.
Yeah.
You are taking care of yourself. You are walking, you are meditating, you are doing some exercise. So that is taking care of your core health, which, if you don't take care of your machine, which is your body, you can't run all your things you're going to do. If you don't put fuel in your car and you don't maintain the oil or all the things that make a car work well, you're not going to be able to take your trip, right? So same thing with your body. You're being mindful about how to take care of yourself. You didn't mention it, but I bet that you're mindful about how you eat too, that you're not just stopping at Wendy's and bringing your food in for the day. That there's a lot to just even look at what you're putting into yourself so that your letting out will be as energized as possible.
Yeah, so you're absolutely right, Beth.
Yeah. Okay.
I came from healthcare. I came from 10 years working in the healthcare industry. So that was like ingrained in you. And you're absolutely right, making sure that you are intaking the right things. And I guess I would be remiss if I wasn't transparent. I am battling Lyme disease. So that is something that was recently diagnosed. So to work without pain is not something that I know. It's very hard sometimes for me to be able to like close my hands around a paintbrush or work sometimes. And learning how to work through that is a challenge. And I have a wonderful medical team that's helping me do that. I know sometimes people are battling a lot of those kind of things, and I'm not letting it stop me. I'm finding ways to work through it. And sometimes it's really painful to work through it, but it's really important to not let it stop me. But yeah, if you need to see a good PCP or a medical group, please don't let that stop you, because that's really important to keep yourself healthy.
Yeah, that's, I think, such an important part about creativity is taking care of yourself. And I'm so glad you shared your Lyme disease journey, because I know that the creatives I've worked with, there are creatives who say, well, I'd love to do the things, but this is what I'm dealing with. So I know. Of course I cannot. And while there are limitations in the challenges that you might be facing, think what you just said, I figured out ways to work around my limitations. All the things that you've probably thought about with what has been keeping you or limiting you with how you can create. Your brain says, but I want to create. So how can I change the way I'm creating so I can still get my work done?
Yep.
So but I can't, because take a look at what your brain is telling you can't do, and then let the other part of your brain figure out how you can work around that obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Because that could have put you completely on the skids. I mean, you've got
Oh, it did for a while. I couldn't
close
lift
to
my
full.
arm.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
it was bad. It was really bad. And some of my patterns and stuff were getting really wonky and funky because I was using my other hand to draw. I
Oh,
literally could not use my right hand, and I'm right-handed. And it was something. It was a difficult time to work through, and we're still working through it. And I think it's going to be something I'm going to battle for a very long time, if not for the rest of my life. So again, having a good medical team is key.
very, very important. I'm so glad you shared that. The advice you've been giving is so valuable. Let's talk about your confidence. I mean, confidence, it just seems like it just shines on you. Everyone listening to this is probably thinking, if I had the confidence that Tracy had, I'd be able to do that too, but I don't. What do you do, or what kind of advice can you give to creatives who are thinking, "Oh my goodness, that is my dream too, but I don't think I'm brave enough to do what Tracy's done." How do you build that confidence? How do you get yourself to try those scary things? Any advice?
Sometimes you need to find your cheerleader. Sometimes you just need to find someone to support you,
Yeah.
listen to you, bounce your ideas off of. I do that a lot. I have a lot of people reach out going, I love what you're doing. Can I run this by you? Yeah. Send me a message, direct message me, whatever I can do to help. I am here for that. And I think that is one of the things that I was looking for in someone else in this area when I was trying to get my foot in the door in the art industry and in the art galleries. And I couldn't find that support. And I'm like, I'm just going to be it for myself. And so I want to be that for other people here. That's why it's so important to me. One of the core values of having this space was supporting another artist. There
Yes.
have been more artists that have never had a show that's had a show here because they were so scared to show their work. And then they've had more shows. Everyone that has shown has sold something. That's huge.
That is
People
big.
have never even shown their work before. That is what was needed. So if you need some confidence from somebody else, either if you can't find them local, reach out to someone you admire, send them a message, tell them, like, I really have this great idea. If they have the time, maybe they'll be able to respond to you. But finding support is huge. It doesn't have to be family members that say, oh, yeah, all your artwork is wonderful. We love it. It's not that kind of support. It's someone that you can like talk to and bounce ideas off of and feel like you have someone to listen to you. That's so important. So I think that the confidence that I have now is just based on the want and need that I was looking for the same thing. I didn't trust myself to be good enough to be in a gallery with a solo show or do this or that. And so I created my own space to do it. And so that's sometimes what you need is finding someone to share their confidence with you to push you into that direction. So it is something that has come again with time and age and that filter going down, going, I don't care what somebody thinks.
Yes.
I'm just going to do it myself. And it will come. Start trusting yourself.
So trusting yourself. And I love what you said about finding that cheerleader.
Oh, yeah.
Finding someone that's going to add kindling to your fire instead of dousing it with blanket and just saying, I don't think you should be doing this right now. You want to find those people who can see you for your capabilities and they will encourage you. And from that, that will add that extra bit of energy that will allow you to walk into those uncomfortable spaces. So
Yeah.
community is so important. And that is exactly what Tracy's talking about is
Yeah.
you need to have someone that will say you can do this. And let's look at how. And let me help you pick yourself up if you've fallen down or something didn't quite go right. Don't give up. That's what cheerleaders do.
I know it's not a competition. It really isn't.
Oh,
And
it is not.
honestly, people have got to keep that in mind. It's not because this artwork is like better than mine. It's nothing like that.
Mm,
It's everyone has that voice. Let them shine in their voice. Be inspired by one another. That's what's important. I love that you're building community, Beth.
yes. Everyone that has come to our membership, they're all so very different. And yet, even though they're different, they all have that same sort of fuel inside them or that fire that says, I have things I want to do. And that is such a commonality that even though they are going in different directions, they can all see the value in each one of these individual people and say, I see this for you. And I thought about you the other day and I took a picture of something I want you to see, or those kinds of things are so
Yes,
valuable. And if you don't have someone that champions you, then you're just alone with your thoughts that might be saying, I don't know, I don't think you can. But community helps you realize that fear doesn't get to vote. You don't have to let fear drive the bus.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And it can be a virtual community. It can be people you've met online. I mean, that's how a lot of mine has started. And then I've been fortunate over the years to be able to meet them in person and go to conventions and just been phenomenal friends. And you never know where those directions will lead. So it's
Yeah.
okay to start there.
Yeah. And retreats it's a fast track to finding
Yes.
community because you come and have a common interest.
Oh,
It really ratchets up what you're capable of doing and confidence in
absolutely.
yourself. And you walk away with friends you never thought you'd have before.
I know.
The art retreats I've been on have allowed me to have artist friends all across the country. And
Hmm.
I love that we can keep in touch with each other and see each other occasionally with whatever we're doing. It's super, super important. Yep.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, so important.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit about I'm a new creative. I am someone who has an idea. Any advice for helping someone with their first steps towards reaching a creative dream, a goal, a thought?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely sharing it. So sharing it easily and freely on social media platforms, I think is really big because that's going to help you tear down that fear because you're putting yourself out there. And it's okay if you don't get people to see it or like it. I'm not saying spend money on ads, nothing like that. Just organically sharing it and putting a little thought behind that post. What made you do this? What made you go in this direction? It's okay that it's not perfect. Nothing needs to be perfect. There is no perfection. Sharing yourself authentically, that's what we need more of.
Yeah.
That is what we're missing is your voice. And so it doesn't matter what platform, whatever you're comfortable doing, but I think that is getting it out past your desk, out past your hand and letting people see it and waiting for that feedback. And it could take months for it to come back. Who knows? But you're at least trying. And I think that that's what's most important. So if you're first starting out, just get it out there and then letting people know like, oh, yeah, my artwork is on Instagram and this is where it's at.
Yeah.
And then at least you're building that history. And then I'm telling you, within a few months time, you're going to see progress. You're going to see how much your work has changed and you're going to see how your voice evolves. And I think that growth is huge. And it's almost like a diary that you're getting to keep
Yeah.
of that work. Don't delete anything. Don't throw anything away. don't do that. Let it evolve and let yourself experience the progression of where your creativity takes you. And it doesn't matter what it is, if it's art, if it's any kind of stepping stone into something that is a dream, show that progress.
Yes. And something that you mentioned in the questionnaire was let yourself be yourself and don't
Yeah.
copy other people. Don't look for what is trendy now and try to fit into that. Whatever is
Ah,
quirky thing about your own creativity, just let that flag fly.
yes, definitely. You have to be yourself. I mean, that's the voice that we're missing. That's what we need.
Yes.
And you don't realize that. You think that it's not this perfect look or feel or this isn't what's trending. That's not important. It's what your passion is. It's what's in your heart. This is what's speaking to you, telling you it's going to speak to somebody else. You just don't know that yet because you
Yes.
haven't put it out there.
Yes. And think about all the people in the world. In order for an artist to be successful, you just need a few thousand people that see your work and think, oh, okay, I like that. And while that seems like a lot in the scope of the world, it's like a piece of skin on the pie. It's just a little bit of
Yeah.
crust on the top. It is a little bit of people, but that could keep you creatively active for so, so long. And that
Mhm.
starts with doing something as simple as a social post. and letting people see your personality in that post. And I know that it works. I have artists that I have worked with who have had people find them through social media and
Yeah.
say, we like what you're doing and we want you to do some things for us. They just showcase their journey. Here's how I find my things and my ideas. Here's me doing my art. Here's my finished art. Here's how I do
Hmm.
these projects. And they just shined and the right person saw it and boom, things
Yeah.
happen. They don't happen
Yeah.
overnight. And so you have to be
Yeah.
consistent at it, but it does happen.
Yeah, and it's a lot cheaper than writing a website. So they're free platforms and use them to the degree that you can as freely as possible. And having that location that your portfolio is built on, for example, on Facebook or on Instagram or LinkedIn or TikTok, it doesn't matter.
Oh,
Use
yes.
that platform as your jumping off point. And then when you're comfortable with a few posts and you're comfortable sharing your art, start seeking out those companies and things that are calling for art submissions or people that you have seen in a bookstore, maybe a journal company, and they're like, I love these journals. I would like to put my artwork on here. Let me contact them. Start researching where they're at, the companies that make puzzles. I mean, there's just so many things that your artwork can go on if you're an artist and that is what you want to do. Then you start going to the next level and start sharing it by email or reaching out to these companies, letting that fear little by little go away and letting your confidence dictate, I'm going to submit this. So you get told no. You get told no all the time. I don't
Yep.
care. I'm going to keep
Yep.
submitting. Does not matter. Keep doing it.
Yes. And follow up. If you don't hear from anybody, it's not a no.
Mhm.
It's a not yet. You didn't hear from them, follow up and then
Yeah,
follow up and keep following up until they say cease and desist. You know, a lot of them
definitely.
might not see it. It
Yeah,
literally might not see it yet. And then some of them might be saving it, but they just haven't reached out to you. Everyone's so busy. Oh, I meant to get back in touch with you. How often do you hear that? But if you don't
right.
follow up, you don't get those little notes that make your day.
Yeah, and if you're local and you know that there's organizations that are looking, maybe some publications that are local, if there's a local newspaper or we've got local magazines, maybe they need artwork for things, submit your stuff locally. Reach out to organizations. If your heart is into giving and you want to create like a beautiful piece of art for a donation, do that. Put your business card, make you some business cards and submit that. You never know. I get more commissions based on a submission for a nonprofit than you can imagine. And it's just incredible. I'm like, I'm just giving this. I want them to put this in their auction or something. And then people will reach out. They're like, I love this. Can you make this for me? And it's just like, yes, I would love to do that. And it just comes back. It really does. Put yourself out there, it will come back.
Oh my gosh, that was a piece of gold right there. Everybody just like push back 15 seconds, and listen to what Tracy just said. Again, that is gold. That is the perfect way to really reach out to the community. First of all,
Yeah.
you're giving back, and then the goodness comes from
Right.
how you shared, and then you find progress with where you want to go. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So, Tracy, when are you too old to start your dreams?
Gosh, I started at 7, so I guess that was old. I painted my first mural when I was 7 years old. It was a Christmas mural, and then I should have started then. I just wanted to be an artist. No, you are never too old. I love some of the memes lately. They're talking about like Grandma Moses started when she was 80 something, and I was like, yeah, I am not waiting. My father passed away at 65 years old, and I never got to see him do something that he passionately loved. He worked his whole life, and then we lost him. And it really hit me. And I really was like, I'm not going to wait to do something that I have dreamed of. I'm going to start it now. And I might as well struggle on my own than go to a job that I don't feel as passionate about. And so that's kind of the mindset that kind of pushed me in this direction. I don't think you're ever too old, or I don't think you're ever too young. I think it's when that passion hits, you listen to that voice and find a way to make it work.
Yes. And that voice is often not really loud. It's
No.
something that just niggles at you. If you've got that
Mhm.
happening, maybe it's time you explore what that is, because now is a great time to start. They always say, when's the best time to plant a tree? I mean, how many times have you heard that, right?
Right.
Years ago is the best time to plant, but today is better than tomorrow. And the same thing is with your creativity. It is something that needs to be grown. It needs to be cultivated. It needs to be shared. And the fact that you have that niggle in your head is probably telling you that there is something someone else in this world needs, that they can only get from the voice that you have and the message that you have to share through what you can create. And if you don't create it, they can't get it, and they can't become better for what they've received from you. So you got to listen to your voice.
Yeah. Yeah. Trust those instincts. You really should.
Yeah. Okay. So you're never too young to start.
Or too old.
Or too old. So, and so this can happen in any season of your life. If you're listening and you're thinking, I have a voice in my head, what
Yeah.
is it? And let's get you going on it. Yeah. Let's talk to the listeners about where they can find you. How can they take a look at what you're selling, or find out if they can take some of your classes, or how do they find you and how do they interact with you?
Yes. So my website, Brewtifully.com, you will find the calendar of all the classes that are available at the physical location. I also have an online shop that you can shop. There's links on there. You can reserve the celebration room on the page. You can see my portfolio, all the things. And then I'm on every social media platform as Brewtifully: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, on LinkedIn, Tracy Dawn Brewer. If you Google Brewtifully, I should come up. I think I've pretty much redefined what that word means. And my Google listing, if you are passionate about a business, this is one of my biggest pieces of advice, is to secure your name on Google and really establish that location, and or just yourself. I don't even pay for the Google like ads or anything. I've just taken this location and reestablished what it is, doing the Q&A, everything, and it has benefited me so much by people finding me on the map and finding all the question and answers about the location and the space and the reviews. It's been phenomenal. And that's not using any Google ads. That's just taking my name and establishing ownership of it on Google. It was a game changer. I've had more people from out of state find me that way and find out what we do. And I really encourage you to secure that name, whatever it is or whatever you're doing, on Google, and filling out every free thing that you can about that. So yeah, you can find me as Brewtifully on pretty much everywhere, and Brewtifully Made podcast.
And if you go to her website, prepare to have a few minutes to, I mean, it's a rabbit hole. You start looking, you're like, I want those
There's
tennis
a lot.
shoes. I want that. I want that sweater.
Yeah, I have a whole Stark County line that they sell at Visit Canton. That's available on there. I have clothes that, like I said, are fun to wear that I've designed. I have clothes that I carry from manufacturers that make my clothes. It's been, when in high school, I thought I want to be a fashion designer. I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to sew things. And when my kids were in school, we used to design their homecoming dresses, and I would cut patterns apart and make their clothes. And so I love doing all that. So it's a little bit of that dream come true, being able to do that. But yeah, there's a lot to look at on there. And you can always direct message me on one of the social media platforms. I'd be happy to answer questions. You can email me, artist@brewtifully.com. Yeah, all the contact information is on my Google listing, on the website. Happy to guide or help anybody in this journey, share the tidbits that I have done, the things that again, I fail every day. It's a lesson learned. It's okay. Nothing is perfect, and you can't expect everything to be perfect. And you're going to have struggles, and you're going to have ups and downs. That's life. That's the roller coaster. I'd rather be doing it in art than anything else in the world. And that's what matters to me most.
Yep. And done is better than perfect. You probably opened your store thinking, I have 11,000 things I still need to do, but come on, everybody. Let's do some art.
Come on in. Oh yeah, definitely. And it's been worth it. it's just been phenomenal. I love it. Absolutely love it. And I get to interact with other creatives like you, Beth, and I just absolutely adore everything that you do with your Procreate classes and everything that you've done creatively to share your knowledge and everything that you're doing to build your community. And that is just fuel for me too. I just think that it's wonderful to just be a small part of what you're doing. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. What you said about there's room for everyone at the table, I truly believe that
Oh,
we're all very similar, but we're all amazingly different. And
oh yeah.
as artists, we need to link arms because together we are stronger. So
Hmm.
finding people and being able to talk with them and find out and get stronger from their ideas and take their thoughts and their inspirations and just make your art, your unique art, even stronger so that you can shine a little brighter. I mean, the world needs our art today. And as much as there is AI out in the world, they need
Yep.
live artists. They need real life people who have shared experiences that are making art. Right now, it is there, but you got to go and find it. So
Yeah.
use some of that creative energy to seek out those places. And then once you find them, just keep working, keep working.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, technology is always going to be part of art, and there's ways to use those tools properly and responsibly.
Yes.
Again, I do augmented reality. I use VR to do murals. AI is great to generate companion ideas based on some things that you're doing. There's all kinds of ways to use that to your advantage as an
Yes.
artist, but nothing will replace the passion that an artist has as a human.
Yeah.
And acknowledging that across the spectrum of people that create, that's what's most important. And we have to support one another in that and not feel that competition. It really is purely individual voices, and we need to lift those up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, that being said, talk to us about some projects that you've got going on right now that I know you've got one that is outside of your local community that I think you need to talk about.
I'm so excited about this one. So, Toronto Junction in Toronto, Canada is a beautiful location, and they do an event called Winter Wonderland. And they have 20 plus windows and murals painted across the city for the season. And they merge artists and animators and augmented reality animators to create these interactive experiences. And so Artivide is the app that I use, and I've been partnered with them since 2019, and they are out of Austria. And that call for artists, I had to apply to be one of the animators, and you had to get selected. And I was one of the US, and I think there's only 2 or 3 of us in the
Ooh,
US that are animators, and I was one of them.
oh,
So I'm very excited that I
should
get
be.
to animate one of the murals, and I can't wait till it's unveiled. It's going to be unveiled in November, and it is completely interactive. You'll be able to stand in it and see the animation go around you, and it has a beautiful story. I can't wait to share more. But yes, so if you watch my social media platform, you'll be able to see the finished mural. I can't wait to, I can't share anything else until it's done. But yeah, so Toronto Junction and Winter Wonderland, I am one of their animators for that. And it was phenomenal. I feel like, wow, I'm international now because I'm in Canada.
Yes,
So,
you are.
but it's about a 6 hour drive from here. So I really want to drive up and see the mural in person interaction and all of that because
Absolutely.
I get to do this remotely because I'm the animator. But yeah, I'm very, very excited and very honored to have been selected to get to participate in the AR experience of this.
See, the growth never stops.
No.
So you've started as your own individual. I want to be creative. And what is next? How can I strengthen what I do for my family, then my community? And eventually you can figure out how your creativity can enhance the world. So this is your start. Toronto. Way to go,
I
girl.
know. So excited. Thank you. Thank you. Very excited. And yeah, just putting yourself out there. I didn't know if I would get chosen. I'm just going to try. And I submitted and I was. And I couldn't be more honored and happy. And you never know. Just try. Just try. I can't say that enough. Just try. And
Yes.
I'm 55. I mean, I'm not youngin'. I'm not fresh out of college. Like I said, it doesn't matter what age. Just try it.
It doesn't matter. So the takeaway here is creativity, as we talk all the time, it is something that is going to enhance your life.
Yeah.
It can make you happier in heart, mind, body, and soul. And Tracy has shown that in all of those facets today. So, what is that little voice inside your head saying to you right now? Listen to it and then figure out how you can take those thoughts and put them into action. And then when you start making actions on those thoughts, you will see results. And then you can keep that motion going. Thoughts, actions, results. Take those ideas and see where your creativity can lead you. Because, like we've talked, you've got a creative voice, and someone out there needs the creativity that you have to share. So don't wait. Feel uncomfortable and celebrate that feeling and get out there and do it. Just do it. And no matter what you decide or how you're listening to your voice today, my friend, remember to stay creative. Thank you so much for joining us today, Tracy. You have been so inspirational. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was wonderful to get to talk to you and everyone else. So thank you again.
You are welcome. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.